Hey, my name is Sushila. I'm 34 years old and I do not want to have children. And in this video, I want to share with you my reasons to why I don't want to have children and what made me to come to this decision. And I wanted to make this video really because there are so many people just like me all over the world, men and women, who are consciously choosing not to have kids, but somehow it's still not really acceptable in a lot of places around the world, like here in India, where people don't maybe understand why people choose to not have kids. And I think it's important that we talk about it and be open. And I do want to make it clear that I'm not against people who want to have kids. I don't have anything against children. And I'm not trying to convince anyone to do as I'm doing. I'm just sharing my experience. So if you resonate with something, take it. If you don't, leave it. That's it. So why do I not want to have kids? Well, firstly, I don't have this craving to have children. I don't have that kind of urge that I need to get pregnant. I want to have kids. And I also don't feel like I'm missing out in any way just because I don't have children. I don't feel like my life is incomplete or, that I need a child to make me feel whole somehow. I don't have anything against children and I like kids. I like to have conversations with them. I like to hold babies and, I think they're cute and everything, but that doesn't mean that I want to have my own. Sometimes I do get curious about childbirth and, raising a child, but I don't think that's a good enough reason to want to have a child. Secondly, I don't feel like I have the time or the interest to raise a child. Like, I have so many things going on in my life. I have so many things that I want to achieve, that I want to do. And yes, you can do a lot of things with kids as well. But personally, I don't want to invest that time in a child because I am so passionate about so many things and I'm already kind of running short on time. Basically, these are my two main reasons for not wanting to have a child. And I do need to specify that I meant human child. And I actually do have 9 children. Yes, 9 kids, but they are furry kids. They are dogs. And you're probably like, okay, that's not the same thing. Are you crazy or something? No, hear me out. Actually, they are rescued street dogs from India, from the streets. I've adopted them, rehabilitated and adopted them. I didn't plan it. It's not like I don't want to have kids, so I'm going to have a dog instead and compensate me not having kids. No, 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 no. I didn't even plan having them. I just happened to adopt them one by one, and now we are a lovely family. And I'm not comparing it in any way, like raising a child and raising a dog, two totally separate things. Let's not deny that. But the love, I feel like it's the same. The amount that I love my furry kids, I don't think I could love a human anymore. So I consider myself being their mom and I love taking care of them and having the responsibility of being their caretaker, and I would do anything for them. But there is still a huge difference between taking care of a child and taking care of a dog. Sometimes it might be more challenging to take care of a dog than a child. So when I was younger, I did think that I'm going to have children at some point in my life. But then later I started thinking, okay, if I do have a child, I want to adopt. Why? Because there are already so many homeless kids in the streets, in orphanages, suffering, who don't have parents and parents' love. So why not adopt? Why have my own when I can adopt? And let's be clear, like, I don't think that there's anything wrong with wanting to have children, and people who want to have kids, go ahead. It's the most natural thing in the world. That's why we're all here. I think it's a beautiful thing if you want to have your own child, become pregnant, give birth, and experience having a biological child. But I do think it's quite sad that people don't want to adopt children because they feel like, oh, the child will not look like me, the child will not be my blood, as if that really matters in the end. And I also think that people are having children for the wrong reasons, like external reasons, pressure from their family, from their relatives, from society. It's like, okay, you're in the age to have kids, so let's have kids. But often we don't stop to ask, like, is this person actually ready and capable to take care of a child, to raise a child? Obviously, like, no one's ever going to be completely ready, and we learn as we go along, and that's totally normal. But at the same time, we have to admit that there are a lot of people who should not be allowed to be parents. Like, they do not have the care and the love within them to be able to raise a child who is not going to turn out to be messed up in their head when they grow up and need therapy for the rest of their lives. Sorry to say it straight, but that's just how I see it. Like, we emphasize too much on people just reproducing and having kids, but we don't really think like who is actually fit to be a parent, because it is a huge responsibility. And I think that people should work on themselves a lot more before they commit to having kids, because we're just going to end up traumatizing our kids, who are then going to grow up and do the same to their kids, and it's just a vicious cycle. And I think a lot of people, they want to have kids because they think it's going to make them happy, but studies do show that people with kids and without kids, there's not a big difference between the levels of happiness. And also people want to have kids because they want someone to take care of them when they grow old. And I think that's pretty crazy if you think about it, because even though we would raise our child how amazingly well, there is no guarantee that they're going to take care of us. And we can't bring someone into the world expecting that, okay, when I grow old, you're going to have to take care of me because I took care of you when you were a kid. No, that's not how it works. And we see that happening all over the world. Like in my home country in Finland, their old age homes are full of people. The children don't even visit their parents. I think a lot of people also don't realize when they have a child that they have to accept the fact that this child is going to be a complete human being, and we cannot influence and expect them to live a way that we want them to live, but that they have their own desires, their own dreams in life, their own passion, and they should be able to pursue that without us pressuring them to say, no, you have to be like this because I raised you and because I'm your parent. So how do people react to me being child free? Luckily, my parents have never pressured me to have kids, and I'm really grateful for that. And in my home country in Finland, it's pretty okay. It's pretty normal. It's not normal and common. Most people do have kids, but it's still not like you're not judged as badly, I feel, as in India, where I am now, where people are like, what? You're not going to have kids? Like, that's your whole life. Like, you need to get married and have kids. And I'm like, no, not going to happen. But be it India or Finland or wherever in the world I've been and said that I don't want to have kids, people often react with saying, oh, you're going to change your mind when you get a bit older. And I'm like, no. If someone says that they want to have kids, we never tell them, oh, you're going to change your mind. But when someone says that they don't want to have children, they're like, okay, something's wrong with you and you're going to change your mind. Why? Why should everyone have kids? It's pretty obvious that this world is overpopulated. So from a sustainability point of view, obviously, it would be a lot better to not have kids. That's not my reason for not having kids, but still, it's important to be aware of it, and it would make a lot more sense in all ways if we just focused on adopting the children that are already born, that are already here in this world. And you might think now that I think that everyone should be child free and no one should be allowed to have kids. No, that's not what I think. I feel like everyone should have the right to choose, and that people would respect those choices and be like, okay, you don't want to have kids, that's cool. You want to have kids, go ahead. And I also wish that people would just accept, especially women who choose to not have kids, and just be okay with it and stop pressuring them. Because why should someone have a kid if they don't want to? Like, how is that going to make that future child's life good if their mom didn't even want to have them and they were pressured into doing it? Like, it doesn't make any sense. I also wish that other types of motherhood was more embraced. Like, for example, me being a dog mom to adopted dogs, or if you have any other kind of animals, or you're an adoptive mom, or you are, giving all your energy to a project, for a cause, for something that you believe in. You don't need to give all that your creative and nurturing energy for a child. You can also do something great in the world. And because you don't have children and you don't need to put all your time in them, you can contribute and make a huge difference in another way in society. And I wish that this was understood better, that everyone has a different way of living and giving and being part of this world. And it doesn't need to be like, okay, you're a woman, you need to have kids, or you're in this age and you need to have kids, and then you can do everything else. No, you can choose to, okay, I don't want to have kids, I want to do this instead. I want to focus my 100% of my energy on this. Like, some people might not want to have kids because they want to focus on their career, or they want to do something else which they're passionate about. And so if you're someone who doesn't want to have kids, I just want to tell you that there's nothing wrong with you. Be strong in what you believe in and what you feel is right for your life. No one has the right to judge you. And you're not less of a woman or a man just because you don't want to have kids. Be strong in what you believe in and what your heart says that is the right thing, because nobody else is going to live your life but you. So no one else should tell you what to do. And I would like to say that if you want to have kids or you don't want to have kids, just take some time to sit down and to really think about what are your reasons for having kids or for not having kids. So that's it. I just wanted to share my views, my thoughts. Do let me know in the comment section if you want to have kids or if you don't want to and what your reasons are. So bye, and I'll see you in the next video.